Crystal, man, you're kicking some butt. Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's bored. Um, yeah, Mr. Hogan, what I learned a long time ago is that his feet were important, but not necessarily in the golf swing. So you go, what does that mean? Uh, it was his upper body. If he wanted to draw the ball, he'd walk around and he would set himself up to the right, and then again for I guess like a 6 iron, let's say a straight, he would be, I guess you would call, squared off. But let's just talk about the belly button up. Don't worry about the feet because what I was showing you. Tiger Woods, he'd say that he would hook the ball with open stance, or he'd fade the ball with what people thought was a draw foot stance, a foot stance. So anyhow, let's just think about the short irons. Now, we all think that when we walk up the track man and the railroad track that we have lines and we set up in these parallel lines. Well, I feel Mr. Hogan is that if he wanted to hit a shorter shot, let's say that if you look down on the ground, you'd have a fairly good size hula hoop. And so the ball, let's just, for chuckles, it's at 12 o'clock. And so you have an idea where that is. The ball might move a little bit, but anyhow, follow me. Now, if you want to hit an iron, so I'm going to keep this, roll the tip, but I'm going to come in this way. So I've moved myself around the rounded part of the hula hoop. And so my hands would actually appear to be even or almost a little bit behind the ball. But it's an optical illusion because, a lot of times people would walk up and see Mr. Hogan from this angle. Again, okay, so you can kind of sense this is squared off my chest. I'm sitting on a chair, so my feet with my knees. So see, experiment with this. Don't throw your clubs away, but don't use railroad tracks. I was worried about you because if you get locked in these lines, you're going to be coming in here. And then you're not finding the ball. Like you said, I'm just going to swing through the ball. Your last YouTubes were like perfect. I'm telling you, I'm going to end up not saying anything to you. But what you want to do is think of, you walk up and you have a hula hoop. Now, so you come in, let's say neutral. Everything's in the center of this hula hoop. When I say center, 12 o'clock. Now, you'd walk in more around for the draw, and your hands would be ahead. Here's even, open, and he varied a little bit. Now, okay, let's say we're Billy, I got the square, the 6 iron, and then I just move around the circle, and then my hands are here. Now, you can drop your right foot down. This is going to blow your mind. This is what Mr. Hogan did on that short iron there. So the golf swing is in the address, the head position, and the movement around this hula hoop on the circle. And you get in here and you go, I'm going to keep everything here, my left side and the optics in my hands. I'm just going to move my right foot, maybe to square, maybe bump it back to be more fluid. You see how that right side is just kissing his knee and he comes in. You don't want to come in squared up, upper body, and then move your right foot forward and drop your left knee like this. I mean, that's what he said. That's not what he did, because now you're locked. You're locked in, and then you can come over here. You can shank it. You could do anything. So I think you're getting it. Now, long time ago in a galaxy far away, I told you to stare at where you want to go and glance at the ball. Stare at the flight of the ball in your mind, and then glance down. And how you're explaining what I was telling you, that you said to your audience that you have to stare at the ball. You don't want to stare at the ball. You want to envision your golf swing and the ball in flight. So basically what I'm telling you, let's say I have a squared off wall back behind me, parallel lines. You don't want to get in there. You had Adam Scott, and he would be the guy that you wouldn't want to look at. He's proud, handsome, hat, straight buttocks, legs, powerlifting. You don't want to do that. I mean, you want his records, but you're going to kill your back. And he's made some changes. He has. So again, practice with the short iron. Come in, okay, I got a damn hula hoop down. I'm going to be silly. Or put some golf balls around in a circle, just around in the circle, and then step to the right. Step. You see how the head's going to move down? How the head will move like Hogan. Hogan saw, Babe Ruth with the head. And don't shut the hands. Just the hands are going to move. Don't worry about it. And then you could, if you want to, bring your right foot back a little bit. So you're open in the upper half, and you're open to the most important thing, the swinging of the golf instrument. And you're going to be able to go through the ball correctly. Again, if you really want to draw the ball, Mr. Hogan sometimes really had to rip it, and he had to start it off to the right side of the fairway. So he'd come in, but then he would scoot around. He would scoot around the circle on the ground, and then that would put his hands a little bit ahead optically. And if you had the camera in different positions, it would blow your mind. You wouldn't be able to figure it out. So I hope this is helpful. Take care.